This is the iPad Pro, and this is the Apple Pencil. And this is not the Apple Pencil and a notebook full of paper. Now, I don't think Apple meant to compete with these classic writing tools, and it may seem outrageous to compare them to each other because of how different they are. But at the end of the day, they're just tools that we use for our writing or drawing or whatever needs. So the question is, has technology gotten to the point where it can completely imitate an actual real-life pencil when it comes to writing with latency and pinpoint accuracy in mind? And can an actual pencil keep up in the 21st century without extra features that we might need? Can the Apple Pencil really give that intangible real-world feel? And ultimately, which is better for our penciling needs overall? Well, let's start with what makes a pencil feel real, or a big part of it at least: latency. When you write with a pencil, the lines you draw don't chase the tip of the pencil. Imagine if that was actually happening, like you were sketching and had to wait for the line to catch up. That's not even real. Like, it's kind of annoying, and I would definitely not want to draw that way. You don't have to imagine it though, because this is literally just about how all other styluses work. They're not as exact as pencils. They just seem pretty fake, not real. Some of these are of course better than others, but just noticing it at all just makes the experience not close to as realistic. This isn't the case with the Apple Pencil though. It basically has no latency, zero. It's almost just like a pencil. But I did say almost though, because it performs basically just like a pencil on apps like Apple Notes and Notability, but on other apps like Procreate for example, you can see just a little bit of latency. You have to look real close though. You might not even notice it's there, because I actually had to even go check for myself to make this video, because it doesn't really show when making minor movements. It only starts to show when you make quick, long strokes, and even then, it's not even too bad. But an actual pencil just does it better. I mean, it's literally perfect. That's not the only thing an actual pencil does better too. It also does this better. See what I did there? You get what I mean, right? No? Alright, I'll do it again, one more time, okay? See, I know you got it this time. But just for the slow people in the back, not you of course, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Basically, an actual pencil is perfect at making a dot, a period, or a full stop, whatever you call it. It's very good at making one of those exactly what you want. I don't even need to tell you this, obviously you know this already. But the thing is, with a stylus, even the great ones like the Apple Pencil, things won't be exactly as accurate. The tip isn't precise enough to go exactly where you want. You put it here, it goes slightly to the left. You try to dot this I, it dots the U next to it. You stop writing to take a sip of coffee, and you try to put your pencil back right where you left off, and it just is slightly not there, you know what I mean? It's not like an actual pencil, because an actual pencil has pinpoint accuracy. It is exact. You'll always hit the exact spot you want. Well, unless you have a shaky hand or some other problems. One great thing about the Apple Pencil is that it can actually shade like a pencil, not just draw lines with a tip like most other styluses. Now that works pretty well too, but again, it's not exactly as accurate as an actual pencil. It's actually very close, but it's not exactly as perfect as an actual pencil. But this isn't really a big deal because I use this every day, and it's not even something I notice so much. In fact, it's not something I really even talked about until I came to make this video. But if you're an artist or someone who is anal about precision or cares about this a lot, then of course this might bother you there. But if you're an artist at all though, then of course this stuff is important to you. But what's more important to you? Being able to have the dots within a specific millimeter of where you want it, or being able to mess up that masterpiece and undo it with the touch of a button? Because you can only do stuff like this with one of them. Well, technically you can only undo stuff like this with one of them. I'm not going to tell you guys which one it is either, okay? You're going to have to guess for yourself. No cheating. Don't even talk amongst each other in the comments or anything. Anyways, only one of them is capable of going from just one pencil to a pencil of any color at all on the rainbow. You can also make the tips as thin or as thick as you want, and it doesn't even have to just be a pencil. You can make it a pen, an airbrush, and even a paintbrush with the option to use almost any brush head you want. Your Apple Pencil can even turn to a completely different element, like water. Well, sort of. It also makes things easier. Just being able to zoom in and out to be more precise and use space more efficiently, you know? Even though you don't really need space, because you basically have an unlimited amount of storage, as much as you want. It also makes other aspects of your writing experience just better and easier, you know? Imagine if you're being punished for doing something horrible, I don't know, let's say not subscribing to my YouTube channel. Ugh, oh my god. Let's say you did that, and your punishment was to write a phrase about 1,000 times. You got a flight, right? You got to use pencil and paper. What phrase though? What's a random phrase? Oh, I will subscribe to I Am Paula Billy. All right, 1,000 times. Start writing. Actually, erase that. Yeah, you're actually supposed to write I will subscribe to I Am Paula Billy and turn on notifications. Yeah, my bad. I forgot to tell you. Oh, and you have to write it 10,000 times and not 1,000. Oops. You don't have to be too stressed out if you have to do it with the Apple Pencil and the iPad though. Because with the Apple Pencil, you can just write it once and then copy and paste it, and then copy and paste it again, and then copy a whole bunch together, and then paste that, and then paste that again, and paste that again, and you'll be done like in no time. Or you could also just save yourself the trouble and just subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't have to miss any videos like this, you know. You don't have to do that though, because the 10,000 words or phrases thing is still on the table. Actually, you have to finish that regardless, okay? But when you're just around your 9,000 word, and let's say you were writing with both the Apple Pencil and a regular pencil on just regular paper, you'd have noticed that there's a big difference between them. Not just in the obvious things that we've already talked about, but in a major significant category that's just hard to put into words, you know? Let's call it the real world feel. See, the Apple Pencil is really good in the real world, and it has a nice and good feel to it. When you use it for a while, you basically don't doubt that it's a pencil, like a real number 2 HB pencil. You can make light strokes, push it harder for darker strokes, and if you didn't know any better, it'll start to feel just like an actual pencil, like I said, really. That's until you actually go back to use a real pencil though, and you just realize that the Apple Pencil truly is great, but it just doesn't feel as authentic as a real pencil, you know? See, the Apple Pencil feels real, yes, but an actual pencil is real. Like, no need for specs or latency, no need to wonder about latency or anything. It writes and draws with a certain realness we all know that just can't be faked or just hasn't been faked good enough yet. That realness comes out in the sound you hear when you write or when you're shading. The Apple Pencil rubbing against the screen can't give you that. Actually, the Apple Pencil rubbing against the Paperlike screen protector sort of can give you that, and it's nice, but it still doesn't match that real feel, you know? Not exactly. That feel is in the feel of the pages when you're flipping them, you know? Even the way an actual pencil erases too, it just makes sense. I mean, it has to. It's actually real, you know? You can touch the charcoal or lead on the tip. It actually touches the paper, it actually leaves an imprint and everything. So every mistake you make when you draw is basically your fault because everything is in your control. Like an actual pencil is like a manual car. Everything is really up to you and your skill. That's how it feels. With the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil, it's way more like an automatic car. You don't really have to worry about mistakes or know how to draw a straight line or a circle or any shape you want. I've used the Apple Pencil for a while and I know it very well. It really does feel like a pencil, but it feels like a 21st century pencil, like a pencil made for the current times where instead of reading physical books as much as before and writing our notes on them, we read digitally with ebooks and PDFs, and we want to be able to write on them digitally too, without an inconvenient way like printing it out, then writing on it, then converting it back to PDF form. The Apple Pencil just makes things like this easy. Like the stuff that pencils, pens, and markers were supposed to do in the past, but like for physical things, with the Apple Pencil, it's just made for our easier, more convenient digital world, you know? With that being said though, it will occasionally do some funky stuff to remind you it's not as real as a pencil. It's automatic, yes, but that can be bad at times when you don't want it to be. Like sometimes I'll be trying to be precise while drawing something and I'll take it slow and steady, but if I'm too slow, it could just automatically draw a line for me and screw things up. Basically, they both have their own distinct feel. One is natural, authentic, and actually real, but limited in functionality because of its realness, and the other one blurs the realness line and adds a lot of functionality too. But they both have some downsides though, or some not so good things about them. The Apple Pencil isn't real. I mean, it is, but it's not. Like I've said like many times, it's your pencil, but it'll stop writing if the battery dies. That means you have to keep charging it to use it. Now, this actually isn't a real problem in real life though, because you'll be placing the pencil on the sides anyways, and the sides of the magnet will keep charging it and charging it.
I've used the iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil for almost 2 years now, and the battery doesn't really die. Like, they don't even go below like 70% or anything. Like, they just end up always charging on the side. Even though I even have like a case where I can put it in the side, I always put it there, but somehow I still end up charging it on the magnets. It's crazy. So battery life hasn't really affected me. With all the charging too, the battery health has been good. What has actually affected me is durability, because this is my second Apple Pencil. I didn't lose the first one because of damage technically. It was because it got lost or stolen, depending on who you ask. But it also had the problems that this one is having as well. It was so easy to scuff it and just damage it a lot, and especially on the tip, the part that actually matters, because all the other damage is cosmetic, right? I don't want to damage it there either, but I was still able to do that easily. But the tip of mine just started wearing out a little bit. Like, I wasn't the most careful user and anything. That's why it was happening, I know that. But you can see the plastic wearing off and you can see the metal come out. So even mine right now, sometimes I'll write and it won't register the touch because that exact spot where it is worn out a bit is actually touching and making contact with the screw. So it's not the nicest thing so far. An actual pencil just doesn't have this problem. It's actually real, actually authentic. You can even break a pencil if you want, and as long as the charcoal or lead makes contact with the paper, it will still write. It will still work. With the Apple Pencil, if you take any damage, it's not just cosmetic and actually affects the tip. That might actually ruin your whole penciling and writing experience, you know?
So which provides a better real-world experience overall? Well, the actual pencil definitely does the writing and drawing part better, as in when it comes to leaving imprints on paper, like from shading to pinpoint accuracy, the pencil just does these things in the authentic, actually realistic way. But unless you're just into the feel of it, that's kind of all it has going for it. The Apple Pencil does a lot more, and is definitely much more suited for nowadays, as in the 21st century. It's almost outrageous to compare them, but price aside, there's no way I'll be comfortable telling you to use pencil and paper if you had the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil as an option. That basically summarizes why they have to be the winner today. Outrageous? Okay. The Apple Pencil is better than a regular pencil. I mean, of course it is. It's actually technology. A pencil is just a pencil. It's just wood. Of course it's gonna lose. The Apple Pencil can't beat something like a paintbrush though. Like a paintbrush. I mean, what Picasso used. What the legend Bob Ross used. What Mona Lisa was made with. Nope. The Apple Pencil definitely can't beat that. Wait, can it? Can it? Huh? No, for real, can it?